Okay. How's it, everybody? Welcome back into the Paper Plane Inn. I'm cutting you in. Thank you guys for waiting for me to come back live. It is so good to actually see you guys here today. How's everyone doing today? I am doing alright, but it is so good to actually see you guys here again. Soulfire, Emma Marine, welcome back. Welcome back. It's good to actually see you again, my regulars. Okay. You're probably wondering where in the handbasket was I during, the entirety of this week. Okay, so a little bit of maintaining house is in order, so sit back and let me stay a while and listen, if you will. Hi friend, do you like my funny gift art? Oh, you sent me a gift? Would you kindly ping me to where that said gift is so I can actually take a look at it? Because I may have missed it, and so I apologize on that one. Would you kindly actually ping it to me or send it to me directly in Discord, so that way I can actually take a gander and take a look at it. So, while KJ is doing that, okay. Now, I know you guys are probably wondering what happened to me during this said week, so allow me to sort of do my best to explain. Aside from having low energy when it comes to streaming, it doesn't help that I've also missed out on the amount of timing on trying to figure out what to stream for this week. It also doesn't help that Steve and I also got word from our friend Lloyd Tavner that he's planning to come by this Friday to actually drop off our boys, because he attempted to try looking for an opening time for getting the boys fixed, but unfortunately his local vet is booked until June. So I almost said January. That's on me. Okay, so he said it might be more ideal that he could actually drop off our boys to our home, so that way we could actually take care of the kittens by ourselves when the time comes. You're the ones that adopted the kittens. Yes, I did. Steve and I do. We plan to take two of the kittens from Lloyd's litter, and we decided to name them Ash and Loki, if you will. If it's you think it's okay, if you think it's okay, sure. Thank you. But unfortunately, things kind of fell through. While Steve and I were trying our best to maintain and clean up where we can, bit by little bit of our home, Lloyd actually informed us that he's not coming this Friday due to the fact that there's a flu outbreak in his home, and there's a very strong chance that he will eventually catch it. Therefore, he would also not be able to make it in time for seeing us, but also spreading the sickness to us as well. To make sure that better safe than sorry, he actually canceled the plans will fall through and are postponed until further notice. And it is for the best, if you will, because it would be very, very awful if Steve and I got sick when he came by to visit. None of us actually wanted that. And it also doesn't help that come by next week Saturday, Steve and I have plans when it comes to seeing Fairbanks and Birdism who are coming by town but by that time. So until then, I genuinely hope that Lloyd gets well, and I hope that he recovers well if the flu does eventually catch us up to him. But it is for the best that we've wait a little bit longer until, everything is in the clear, because it's one thing when someone got sick for a few days, but it takes even longer until it's finally out of your system, Like, you may be cleared from, you might experience sick. Those who actually got sick, the bad days is when it hits you for about 2 to 3 days, maybe 4 if you're an adult. And it takes a little bit longer until everything is out of your system. And what's left of it is the dry coughs and wet coughs alongside every other nasty thing that still lingers. So it is for the better that he has to, until further notice, things are perfectly clear. As much as I really want to have, my sons here in our home, better safe than sorry is needed. I have something for his brother. I've been keeping the poor guy waiting because of the stuff on my end. Oh, dearie. I'm sure everything will be okay eventually. Okay, and, I finally got word of... Oh, okay, I finally got the direct message, so... Nearly after your third... I made a sketch as far as in the chat. Ask how you're feeling with Tom's owner in the Tom and Jerry episode. Aw, shucks. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, KJ. I do appreciate this. Thank you. Alright. But things seem to be settled down for me to move forward with getting it to him. I genuinely hope so too. Fingers crossed. Now, for those who actually could see down below in the tin of today's stream, you would actually see that today is going to be an art stream. Something we haven't actually done in a while that, you know, is personal art. And I've been itching to do personal art streams for a really particular long while now. So, how about we actually go straight to the podium so we can actually get to work on today's stream. Before we actually do that, let me have a swig of water so that way my lips aren't dry. Okay. Okay, let's go. Oh! Hello, dear.
Hello.
Hi! Thank you for actually waiting for me to actually come in live.
Of course.
Let me actually get this thing, let me make the preview for this one. So you can actually see, firsthand of what's going on. Now, for those who actually could see down below in the tin, I am making a character that is very much, heavily inspired by a third-party content for Dungeons and Dragons. And that is, this said following book, and the said content in question, third-party content in question is, let me just grab this real fast. Here we go. Is this particular third-party content, Grim Hollow. Now, for those who are actually wondering, what the handbasket is Grim Hollow? Well, to actually give an abbreviation, the quickest way possible to explain, Grim Hollow is a popular dark fantasy tabletop role-playing game setting designed for 5th edition of Dungeons & Dragons, and is produced by Ghostfire Gaming. It is set in a bleak, godless world of Itharis, and features horror-themed, grim-dark elements where players fight for survival against monsters, plagues, and moral ambiguity. Now, as fun as it actually is to actually make a character that is for this setting called Itharis, this is not that kind of case. See, I just said fuck that to the setting of Itharis and whatnot, because what interested me more when it comes to Grim Hollow is the subclasses and the unique class that actually comes with it, the Monster Hunter. Now, the Monster Hunter class, what this one is actually about, it's an intelligence-based martial class designed for 5e, which they are specialized in tracking, identifying, and exploiting the weaknesses of specific dangerous creatures. Key features including specialized monster grimoire for knowledge, high damage output against selected creature types, and investigative skills to survive in a dark fantasy setting. This is the type of character we are designing for today's stream. And it is one that I'm very much looking forward to actually designing. Let's see. Let me actually read chat before we actually continue. She she's lucky she didn't say Hun. She called Steve Hun, and you, Dave, are called Deer. Yes, I try my best to distinguish the pet names between two, and sometimes I still keep mixing up on the pet names for sure. Okay. And it's from the time when it comes to the Binding of Isaac streets. Oh! I should definitely bring that back. But yes, as I've explained about this, yes, for those who pay attention, we are designing a character from Grim Hollow who is a monster hunter. And Monster Hunter, there are a few different types of classes that are available for when it comes to the said game. And by the way, here's an official art of what a Monster Hunter looks like. Look at this cool ass piece, if you will. Now
Has Warhammer Fantasy Witch Hunter vibes.
Yeah?
Yes. In Warhammer Fantasy, there are a group of people basically known as witch hunters, who are basically the fantasy equivalent of inquisitors, looking for anything that is not either things that are not clearly not human/humanoid, or are tainted with chaos in some way, shape, or form. Which usually involves Skaven, but that's another story.
But yes, when it comes to Monster Hunters, like the other classes out there are subclasses for people who want to actually give it a shot when it comes to playing this. And let me actually, but each subclass always have a monster grimoire, which they always carry with them for lore and research about the creatures they hunt. Like what they said in the tin, they are intelligence-based martial classes. They are the wizards that says, you know what? How about I turn my wizarding book into a grimoire that records? Hello, Afton. You are paying for that later.
I see D&D homebrew.
Well, yeah, I am creating a character who's a monster hunter from Grim Hollow, and I'm in the middle of explaining.
Well, I'll let you carry on then.
But yes, as I said, monster hunters are basically the wizards who said, you know what? I'm gonna actually carry some armor. I'm gonna carry a big fuck-off weapon, and I'm turning my wizarding book into a ledger that records all the monsters' information that I come across with. And any information is gonna be very helpful in how to beat them really hard with the said weapon I picked up. And so they are, and so with this Monster Hunter guild has like every other D&D class has subclasses. Now let me actually give you a bit of a rundown real quick before we actually go into our character in question, because trust me, it's fascinating. Okay?
Yeah. I highly recommend it.
Okay, so let me actually go ahead and find picture art for the said Grim Hollow's Monster Hunter classes, because they do their best to differentiate which classes are there, if you will. So please stand by. Ah, yes. For those who want to know what these subclasses are, the first of them is the Carver Monster Hunter, as they are primary melee combatants. Carvers do their best when toe-to-toe with their enemy. They are fierce and unflinching warriors, fearing no one and no thing. Yes, Emerald Marine? Perhaps 50 colored gems will cover it, even if they're gray? Yes, it would, and thank you so very much for the gems. Now, yes, for our first of the batch, that these carvers are the muscle, the primary melee combatants, if you will, and they have stats that comes with it. The next Monster Hunter class is this, the Devourers. The Devourers quite literally consume the remains of their monstrous foes to absorb the powers they fight against, enabling them to more capably take down these foes in the future. This does have unintended consequences, such as the development of a somewhat monstrous appearance, but the ends justify the means, right? And as you can actually see, you are basically the kind that actually eats the enemies, gaining their abilities, gaining their weakness, learning their weaknesses, but it comes with a cost of looking more grotesque as you actually, consume your enemies. What do you think, Afton?
Think of Genya from Demon Slayer, and just saying this right now, I am very familiar with the Grim Hollow setting. It was actually one of the first few homebrews that got me into third-party content. And, on top of that, I've met people from Ghostfire who've made this stuff. Remember how I told you I knew someone who released the OGL files?
It has been a while.
She's a part of their company now.
Oh!
And she was one of the people I met who introduced me to this stuff. I'm very familiar with a large portion of Drakenheim and Grim Hollows, since Grim Hollows were I originally thought of more, you could say, evolutionary concepts for Afton's subclass.
Ah, fair enough. Okay.
Carry on.
Yes, we are gonna carry on to our next of the subclasses that is available that you can pick. The Trapper.
Yes. Nice.
The Trappers operate more like traditional hunters. They lay traps, hide out of sight, and strike at the most opportune moments. They're prone to more stealth and less brute force than other monster hunter guilds. These are very much the stealthful, ambushing type of monster hunters, but a lot of people said that they're not really a huge fan of this kind of method. It only takes a niche upon niche players to actually get this thing a shot.
Yeah, it's due to the fact that when you think about it, trapping type playstyles are not popular.
No. Like I said, it's for the very niche type of players. And let me read this from Retrofox. It looks like an infected zombie with horns. I guess he too horny to slay the beast. I mean, a little, but look, I cannot. First and foremost, that's a she because I can actually see the.
That's a woman.
Yep, that's a woman. But yes.
Short hair and the build.
And plus, I have a feeling if you play as a devourer, it's only a means of how much humanity do you actually have left in order to fight against the monsters. But you know how that one quote goes? He who fights monsters become one themselves.
I have my own saying, humanity is optional.
Now, there is one last Monster Hunter subclass that I've yet to actually show, and that is the subject for today's session. I mean, today's art stream. And the last of these is the Occultists. Monster hunters that wield both spells and swords to slay monsters. They're also the experts in killing mages and spell-wielding creatures. This is the subclass that we are picking for today's art stream because this is the one that actually stands out to me the most when I've read Grim Hollow's list of subclasses and classes. So this is going to be the subject for today's stream because we have a character who's an occultist monster hunter. So without further ado, would you all like to meet this said character in question?
Please. Introduce us to him.
Alright. So, the said character in question is her. This is a rough sketch, but we're going to be doing that today for making a refined sketch and then properly a line art and also colors. That's optional. I'm not sure how far along we'll actually do with this, but the point stands. Everyone, this is Pavetta. She, or hold on, let me actually get her proper name right. Let me go to these DMs. Okay. Let me just go. Hold on a second. Let me actually go to Then let me actually go to the notes real fast because her full name. Ah, here we go. Her name is Pavetta Adil, and she is my Monster Hunter Occultist.
I'm guessing you're playing in a Grim Hollow setting soon?
Not really. And let me actually explain that along the way as we draw. So, hi, Jay.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
Errand 1 is taken care of. Now I'm just going to take care of errands 2, and I figured I'd swing by the inn while I do so.
Fair enough. It's nice to see you
Good.
here. I thought about what you said earlier and wanting to do a personal art stream, and yeah, it's been a long time since you've done one, and I think it'll be a nice change of pace. Yeah, exactly. Especially since I also want to explain what the kind of character I'm making and introducing everyone this particular third-party content. Because third-party content is something that you have to discuss your DM with. That's the caveat and catch, though.
Yeah. Plus, to let you mostly know, and this is a personal recommendation from not only a DM who uses this type of stuff, but also a general notion. Always make sure that the content has been published or has a lot of serious feedback behind it, because most homebrew out there often come from wikis and are community made, but are not field tested correctly.
Exactly. Which is why I kind of, if I had to pick third-party content, I had to wait until it's proper, and therefore they're also been released into D&D Beyond for me to actually access it and easily access it, and for me to actually draw the said character. Create the said character in question. But there's also But this elephant in the room is also bringing forth another elephant in the room, and that is to talk to your DM on how much do you want to make this thing functionable for your campaigns, because the said rules in question when it comes to Grim Hollow release in D&D Beyond is some of them is good for 5.5 rules, whereas my friend Savage, he has a strong notion of operating in 5e rules. You know, the 2014 rules rather than the 2024 rules.
Yeah, and it's a good option to do so.
It is. But, with the help of Steve and Savage, we were able to figure out which one is going to be good enough for Pavetta in order to make her functionable for, a 5e setting. Because we noticed that there's a couple of rules in there that is not for that our 5e table, such as the fighting styles, if you will.
You have a thing against the certain fighting styles?
Some of the fighting styles are definitely 5e, and I needed Steve's help on determining which one's 5e, which one isn't.
Okay.
And it took a while for me to get there, but finally we managed to make Pavetta functionable for our said campaign.
Okay.
Oh, okay, we got a jar redeem. Sorry, fellas, it's that time again.
All good. I'm just kind of something I've noticed.
What's that?
So, one thing I actually also. So, how much of Grim Hollow are you aware of?
Unfortunately, 5, maybe 10%. But that's only for limited to the subclasses, if you will. And a little bit of the races, too.
So, you're aware of things like the Willikin, the Ogresh, the Disbodied, and the subclasses that they brought in as well, too.
Yeah, but first, let me actually do this jar redeem. 1 is Dave. 2 is Afton, 3 is Jay, 4, I turn into a plushie and I go into the jar. I am so sorry. Jay.
I flippin' knew it!
Any last? Those were your last words. But hey, I mean, your hat's a lid now, you know?
This is not nearly as amusing as you think it is.
Oh, it is amusing though. Although, I wasn't expecting you to do some homebrew stuff. Like, that's literally the stuff, that's my stick. You literally just activated my stick right now.
Okay.
Doesn't mean you're hyperfixation.
I mean, why else do you think I started VTubing in the first place?
It's not often do I actually go for this endeavor, but when I do, it's when they really, really speak out to me, and also, again, when they actually have been play tested enough that they actually be released to D&D Beyond.
Yeah, like, what's interesting, I'm going through D&D Beyond right now, and I'm a little butthurt about one thing.
What's that?
So, the thing is, I'm aware of my buddies at Loot Tavern. They actually added something directly to their marketplace of adding Heliana's Guide. However, I've noticed that they seem to have not added in something that I thought they would do.
Huh?
And that is one of Loot Tavern's most well-known classes, the Tamer.
What's wrong with it?
It doesn't seem to be in there.
Oh.
I was expecting it to do so, given that was actually one of the things outside of the monster hunting crafting, because as you know, I'm a massive fan of Monster Hunter, and seeing this makes me feel happy. It's weird that they don't have the specifications of the Tamer itself, but to be fair, I think you already have access to the Tamer yourself already, don't you?
I'm not sure. I've yet to actually take a gander on that. Sorry.
All good, all good. Although I will say Loot Tavern has made 3 more classes. 2 of them are already in production, and well, 2 of them are already out, while another is currently in production.
Oh.
So, so one of them is actually the Element Bender, or Bender in particular. If you like it, the last Avatar or such, that is definitely a class for you.
I mean, yeah.
Sorry, the last Avatar? It's the last Airbender.
Airbender, but Avatar in particular. Sorry, I had a brain fart. And another one, I feel like Steve will like this, is the Gunner class.
Ooh. Let's see. Hey, Miki, Forn says that your Nightbot Fairy message is spelled Innkeeper with 3 N's. I guess the Nightbot Fairy's a little drunk that time. Don't worry, I'll figure that out. Eventually.
Actually, I've been meaning to talk to you. I've been meaning to talk to you about Nightbot because I just integrated it, but I don't know how it works. So if you can help me later, that'd be great.
I mean, it has been a hot minute since I've used I've properly got Nightbot to work. So it will be a hit and miss. I will tell you that.
Yeah, I definitely just want to make sure it doesn't like go crazy because it did because first attempts did not go well.
Well, that's the thing about Nightbot fairies. They're a little they can be very temperamental if you don't know how to tame them. I'll do my best to figure out where to go from there.
Thank you.
Well, let's see. Not often do I actually draw a character with voluminous hair, but she has a veil/hood.
Nice.
But yes, this character has the vibe. I have a specific vibe when it comes to I have a specific theme in mind when it comes to this character. That I've always wanted to make a character who has the theme of Red Riding Hood, if you will. And,
now that's an idea.
Mm-hmm.
I always love a good hood reference.
Because I always have this thing when it comes to making D&D characters that are based on, classic fairy tales and folk tales. Nessa being one who is Snow White, but it has loosely it has elements of Snow White because she is rescued by seven dwarves after she had to flee from a thing that from the one that actually kept her trapped for 2 years. And she had a Prince Charming, but she was never her princess, as sad as it is. But don't worry, she does eventually get better, and I just can't wait for the conclusion for that story when that finally happens. Finally putting rest to a restless wish that has been a thing for years to this point. But anyways, going back on point, I've always wanted to create a line of D&D characters that are based on fairy tales, if you will. And Pavetta, her theme is Red Riding Hood. And
Okay.
And like Red Riding Hood, she is going to she will have a red hood, and red is going to be her predominant color for her appearance. But I've always struggled which class would actually fit the most when it comes to Pavetta. It wasn't until I've actually stumbled across Grim Hollow, thanks to Steve, who was also looking at it in his side of his account. And I took a read to it, and I ended up falling in love with the subclass Occultist of, the Monster Hunter list that is listed there. Therefore, I decided that Occultist might be a deal for her. There is one problem, though. I don't know jack on how to do Occultist, let alone Monster Hunter. I am going in this class completely blind as a bat. So, but it is a very good thing that when it comes to Savage, that we start our campaign in a very low levels, if you will. Because his line of thinking is that it is very much ideal for everyone to get to know what kind of class they're playing, if you will. But I also have a backup plan that in case if this kind of falls through on how to play as a Monster Hunter, I have a backup idea that of adding a level or two into Arcane Cleric. Because trust me, I want to mix something with familiar with unfamiliar, in case if I'm not used to it.
Okay.
So, yeah, because I like to imagine the tenets of the Monster Hunter Guild. Let me actually go back to Savage again. Let me go to my DMs with Savage again. Okay, if you will. Motherfucker. Discord. Okay. There we go. Let's see. Okay, as I said to Savage, someone who studies magic but sees it as a means to aid others as well as control the magic against the supernatural or occult. Does that actually help make a little bit more sense?
Yep.
And yes,
I'm not. Oh, sorry, you go.
No,
I was just gonna say
wait.
I'm not as familiar with the Monster Hunter as I am with all the other known content of Grim Hollow.
No.
In fact, yeah. So before I went anything else into Grim Hollow, things like Sebastian Crow's Guide to Drakenheim, Luke Tavern, and Fool's Gold came in before anything else. So it was an interesting concept for me to go down the Grim Hollow pathway, but it didn't speak to me as of yet before recent times. So I never knew anything about the unique fascination about the Monster Hunter, though I did know about the rest of its interesting subclasses and transformations too.
Huh.
Wait, are you not aware that that players can turn themselves into various monsters?
Are we talking about the same Monster Hunter subclass?
No, but in the setting of Grim Hollow, people are actually capable of turning themselves into various creatures over time. They level up.
Deadass?
Deadass. So you can actually turn yourselves into a fiend, a lich, a werewolf, a seraph, a fae, like all sorts.
Huh. Shit.
It's an optional thing that can happen, and DMs are if given permission by someone who does the Grim Hollow setting, it's a mechanic that they can introduce.
Ah, thanks for. Hi, Nick. It's nice seeing you again. Welcome back. Well, we don't actually include that, if you will, because
It's complicated.
I think it's better to explain what the handbasket is going on. Why am I creating this character, if you will? Well, Savage and I. Well, okay, no. Savage has been. We've been playing a game in Tuesday, and we are basically trading up for a campaign that for a big bad evil guy that's in the horizon. But odds are, by the time we finish up this big bad evil guy, it'll be most likely the season finale for that said campaign. And
Okay.
I thought initially that as soon as we're done with this one, we will go back to the first Tuesday game, which is Heroes of Valen, where I play as Rose, because we're basically playing in a side campaign that took place in the same world. But that's not the case. Savage actually threw in options of what we can play for Tuesday, as we're gonna be as soon as we're able to finish the Archipelago game, aka the game where I play as Perla. So he laid out many options out there, and then and one of the options is called Dark Kingdom, where let me just go over the notes. Let me just go over here to what Dark Kingdom is. No, I keep doing that. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Savage! Hi! It's nice seeing you here! Hi, DM incoming. Oh goodness. I guess, given that Savage is coming, he can actually help explain what this upcoming campaign is going to be about. Far better than me, because I will end up stubbing over my toe, and I will make a complete idiot out of myself. Hi, Savage!
I also realized he doesn't have a plan.
And there we go.
Give him time.
Hello.
Hi!
Well, hello, Savage.
Urge. Hello, everyone.
Hi! I was explaining what I'm playing for this campaign. I was explaining in the chat who am I actually playing for this you said game.
Yes, and I'm very excited because this is the first time I actually get to see her.
Yes, this is Pavetta.
Yes, and I was Oh,
sorry, I'll let you go. I'm sorry.
okay. Well, last time I was in the chat here. I had to jump in because I walked into Petco here. But yeah, as I understand it, had to make some adjustments to better fit in 5e rules. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Some slight alterations, yes.
Because there are some things when it comes to that Grim Hollow release to D&D Beyond that what makes the class work for 5.5e rules. But Savage here does not like 5.5e rules. So it takes the co-op work between Steve and Savage to figure out which of the stuff is 5.5e and which one isn't. And they finally figure it out, and they were able to figure out, and therefore Pavetta can be played for 5e
Yes.
table.
Honestly,
And
I'm with you there, Savage. 5.5e kind of sucks.
Agreed.
I have not really tried it, but I basically have seen no reason really to update to the new system and learn a whole new thing if it's not really that much better. And I have
Honestly,
the
if it ain't broke,
entirety,
don't fix it.
and I have the entirety of 5e canon physical media.
Oh no. Oh no.
So,
Oh no.
it's-
Oh no. Chat.
Oh,
Sorry
done,
there,
done.
folks, but I'm going into a tunnel.
Oh,
Ah,
good. Oh,
okay.
boy. This is the first time this has happened while I'm here.
Yeah. Hello, Gremlin. It is
Yeah.
you.
Hello, Gremlin.
Ah! Big Fish! It's nice seeing you here!
Yes. Good to be here.
Hello,
Have you been
Gremlin.
Have you been enjoying watching the shows?
Yes. Askermanati has been watching more of the Fearboard King and its reruns. Askerman has been waiting for more a season, the next season, but it's taking forever. Rhymes!
Like a Fearbolt King? What?
You don't know what the Fearboard King's about.
No, I don't. What is it about?
Well,
Do I even want to know?
the Fearboard King. Hold on. I need to actually go take a sip of checking milk. So, the Fearboard King takes place in the Wild Coast, where the Fearboard King wasn't the Fearboard King yet. What goes around this Wild Coast, and then he meets the female protagonist who is just trying to go find their way home, and then they actually go through many adventures, also many treacheries, also many other big things that happen. But it is actually the House German's favorite show, and said main protagonist is supposed to become the next Fearboard King. But yes.
Yes.
To put,
I understood like 3 parts of that.
Yes.
To
Basically,
put it-
she is watching a. I suppose it would be a prequel to the current what's happening in the current Sunday game,
Yes!
which in
Yes.
itself has given me inspiration to maybe do that one day.
Nevich, as the person
Yes.
who... I'm guessing you're the one who has access to the Grim Hollow content, correct?
Well, luckily enough, because of the magic of D&D Beyond and the fact that I have the DM tier, basically, if I have set up a thing that has a campaign and I invite people into it, we all can share the content that any one of us buys with each other.
Interesting.
Ooh, that's a nice system.
So,
It is a very
as such,
good system.
I have access to everything that Steve, Nui, and others have bought, and vice versa.
Okay, that's good to know. I only ask because I'm, as someone who is a third-party extraordinaire, I am familiar with the Grim Hollow setting, but I'm not as familiar as it with, I would guess you would be, right?
I know practically nothing other than occasionally like a little bit of info and the videos that came out when it first came in. All I know is that it's spooky and allows you to turn into monsters, and it is very grimdark, yes.
Yeah. If that's the case, then I recommend you also look into Ghostfire's other project, Drakenheim.
Hmm.
It's very low fantasy, and I feel like a lot of people would love a low
It
fantasy
would
game.
depend. Because the only reason why Grim Hollow and Helionis is there is because it's something that Nui and Steve want to use.
You mean
true.
Inkipi and Goliath?
Yes. They want
Like-
they want a new thing to put into the old thing so they can make a new thing.
Yeah. It's very, like, saying this right now, you would love the type of stuff if you kind of have an interesting story pop up for one of the monsters.
Wait,
Well, the thing is, I only have what they have, which are the player guides. I don't have access to any of Grim Hollow or Heliona's monsters.
that
If you
actually
need
says a
them,
good
just say.
question.
Well, if you need them, don't be afraid to ask, because I'm happy to provide.
Okay.
Where do
Okay,
you
that's
get
what it
these-
was.
Where do you get
Huh?
these spider shells from? No reason. Askerman actually has been busy getting stuff for Baba Yaga.
Wait,
Yes.
Baba Yaga?
Yes.
You mean
Yes, yes.
You mean one of the most ancient hags?
Yes.
Yes. Do you want to meet her? I actually get her on speaker for you.
Please do not.
Wait,
I
Baba
beg-
Yaga has a phone?
Yes.
Yeah, apparently she does. It's on
Yeah, the
Lexstone.
innkeeper. Oh, not the innkeeper. The house gremlin
course,
has
that's a
been
spell phone.
interning.
Ah. Well, I mean, if you want to spell phone, then it's PHONE.
Yeah, I recommend you don't put it on the phone right now.
You did
No,
it.
well, yeah. Besides, we're almost out of gremlin time. I don't think she would even want to show up without the gremlin there to amuse her.
Yeah, please do not.
Cat says you do realize they are poisonous jungle red spider legs, right? Maybe.
Spiders generally don't have.
funny though.
Spiders are generally, when they say the legs are not generally poisonous, they tend to reserve that for their venom.
You
Yeah,
didn't play
always the venom.
Venom is not the same as poison, though.
Correct.
Chat
So
just said,
poison is like something you touch. Venom is something that comes from the glands.
Chat just said, you didn't play cards with Satan, did you? Nah? Ask Kermit plays cards with the big lady.
Yes.
The big
Yeah,
lady.
as I said,
The big lady.
I'm pretty sure that the arrangement House Gremlin has with Baba Yaga is probably something akin to an internship.
Yeah,
Something along those lines.
yeah,
Yeah.
just if you. No.
Chat just
Baba
said,
Yaga is the utter embodiment of chaos, so that tracks. And yeah, the big lady. I'm assuming you mean the pointy
Yes,
one.
big lady. I got her picture.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Sometimes she's very hard to read.
Yes.
Wait, is that the Lady of Pain?
Yes.
Oh no.
Yes, it is.
House Kermit need to go back now because I need to go
Why-
check in
how-
the maze.
Where
How
do you
did you know
think
that
the
we
House
have-
Gremlin comes from and goes?
I'm gonna go play
Where do you
Buffet
think the
with
tunnel-
big lady go now.
Where do you think the tunnel is that Nui always vanishes to?
I feel sorry for her, but also, I'm glad that Baba Yaga's not here of all people.
Yeah. The Tuesday group had to go ask for her mortar and pestle, and it was wild. So they had to go into her house.
Hey, Mickey, how is Leviathan?
I don't want to talk about that. What? Why is this in there? Get that out of my face now!
Besides, let's just say as a fellow Fae, I both fear and respect Baba Yaga, but at the same time I fear her more after what I did.
What did you do?
Let's just say it involved a whole lot of owlbears and a deep fried olive oil.
What?
What?
What did she do, Mickey? I don't want to go into that.
She was just humble bragging about the impossible eldritch entities that she hangs out with.
And I thought going for the real estate in Barovia is bad.
I mean, real estate in Barovia is good as long as you find agreeable terms with the Lord of the Domain.
She tried to take Strahd's castle, you know?
Oh, if you're trying to take Charlotte's Castle, then it's a different story. If you just wanted to ask
No,
for-
that's no.
Oh. Anyways, I think I'd like to go
One of the
back.
classic blunders, the most infamous of which is never get involved in a land war in Barovia.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
another rule is
Aslan
you
learned
never-
that the hard way.
Oh.
But only slightly less infamous is never mess with a Sicilian when death is on the line. Sorry, I had to complete the quote.
Okay, but yes, as you can I'm going back into designing more into Pavetta's design because, yes, this one is a little different from how I usually design my characters. Because, yeah, I've never actually designed a character who's in a very, who's on the curvier scale, plus size scale. Plus size to a
Yes.
degree because
I
she
put
has
this
Mhm.
one before, though.
Yes? What was that, Afton?
I thought you'd done Curvier Woman before.
I
What's the name?
did, but not as a player character.
Yes.
Oh, it's an NPC. Got it.
Yes.
I got them mixed up a little bit.
Nah,
Because-
you're good. Look, listen. I am someone who is very well known to draw her characters in the curvy, hourglass, pear shape, what have you, eye-catching body types, if you will. I've never actually designed a character who is in the plus size scale, let alone because I've always had this thing of wondering if I'm doing it right or how much is enough in terms of, amount of curves, if you will. But I think it's thanks to the amount of people who commission me to draw their curvy characters. I've gained a little bit of,
Experience?
but still, and if I and as well as courage on trying, but there's always a case of how much is enough for curvy. And besides,
I think I was one of the first people to actually commission that sort of thing from you, wasn't I?
pretty much. And then there's also other clients in the past who who asked me to draw their curvy characters, as
Yes.
well as me making my proper curvy NPC, which is let me just go over to them again. This one. So yeah, I am designing another. This one is going to be a player character who's on that kind of scale, but again, I'm just trying my best to make sure that this is enough, considering the fact that Pavetta has an 18 to dexterity. At least that's what I remembered. Let me actually look again on her character sheet. Let me see. Going down. Pavetta Adil. Yeah, she's got an 18 to dexterity along with 18 to intelligence. Often, when she was not done curvy women before, her thick men design collection can rival anime designs.
I mean,
The main
you're not
difference
wrong
is
there.
the waist.
Yeah. I mean, listen. The moment you start designing more guys with dad bods is the day that I am definitely like, yeah, you're gonna have to do something for me then. Listen. I have one idea in particular that I want to bring up.
Hmm?
Older versions of Afton, and one of them has a dad bod.
I mean, I have been trying. I mean, I have been trying my best. And Moy, hi, nice seeing you again. What up? I'm doing okay. I'm currently drawing this new character for me for an upcoming game that that Savage here is hosting in Tuesday, because look. As soon as our game in Tuesday, the Archipelago game, has reached season 1 finale, we're going for a new campaign setting, and therefore, this is the character in question that I'm gonna be playing as. So,
Yes.
I was about to, and as much as I want to explain what that is about, I think it's best to learn straight from the horse's mouth.
Hee-haw. Yes. So, Dark Kingdom, initially, like several different things, came from just a personal character fantasy idea that then sort of accelerated beyond that. Namely, my wonderful wife, Suki, had an idea of wanting to play a paladin that had some sort a connection to a somewhat of an evil overlord type. And that sort of pondered me an idea of making a game which is a little more morally gray, where the players are effectively working for an empire that are not the good guys, but they are still someone who, at least some people would think, are worth following and working towards. So there's a lot of people who have either darker stories or are maybe a little bit more villainous, but still on the protagonist scale, rather.
And trust me, I try to ponder which character would fit the bill when it comes to this one. I really did. It wasn't until I remembered something that in my files in Clip Studio Paint that I actually have been gathering references for the titular.
Okay, is that working better? Okay, there we go. My signal just dropped for some reason.
Are you okay?
I'm good. I just came home.
Welcome back. But yes, going back on topic, I've actually it wasn't until I actually found my my titular notes for the said character concept for Red Riding Hood, or at least a Monster Hunter Red Riding Hood. So I actually decided to make use of that, but then I started leaning a little bit more to the Romani/Indian vibes that this character is going to have. And therefore, that I've actually designed, and therefore I started to design a little bit more of Pavetta's look, fleshing her out more as time kind of goes.
Yes.
Because she is bare bones. Like, all I got is picture references, but not the ideal concrete of character motivations and also backstory. Like, literally bare bones. No concepts at all. So I decided to actually flesh that out a little bit more, and it wasn't until I've actually listened to Padmavat that I gotta go. I kind of lean in a little bit more to the Indian Romani look, design for her look. And trust me, coming up for that said design is not easy, because I had to do a lot of research. And I'm genuinely hoping that what I got is enough.
Yes.
Steve's in the chat. He says, I'm the Texaneer. In that vein, I'm going full berserker.
Yes. Very much so.
Yeah, we are basically going to be playing whole new classes that we've never actually done before. But I told Savage that somewhere down the line, I am considering multi-classing into Arcane Cleric to give us a little bit of boost in terms of support, because let's just say better safe than sorry to blend in a little bit of familiar with unfamiliar.
In case the whole Monster Hunter thing just does not vibe with you.
Yeah. Because sorry, you go.
It's actually because of that I end up deciding what pantheon we're going to be going with. Because obviously, if you're a cleric, typically we need to know what the religion is, if anything.
Aye, absolutely fair. And we have actually discussed which one we'll go for, and I'm trying to remember which is the deity that I'm gonna lean for. Ishtar? I think it's Ishtar. No, not Ishtar.
Isis.
Isis. Yep, there we go.
Yeah.
Which means
There we go.
the Egyptian pantheon.
So, okay, Steve says, I've played Barb, but Berserker is definitely new, given its single severe drawback. Ah, yes, that when you go into, according to Steve, that if you go into rages as a Berserker, there's a very good chance that the more you do, the more exhaustion that you actually pile up into your said character. And exhaustion only.
Well, it's
Sorry.
yes. Go on. It only is typically only removed through a long rest. It's basically the barbarian ability to attack as a bonus action, which basically means you go from 1 or 2 attacks to 2 to 3 attacks a turn, but at the end of it, you get a level of exhaustion.
Which is, I don't see many people in the woodwork that actually picked Berserker often.
It's few. That is true.
Meant for the niche type players who actually go big or go home. At least that's what I'm seeing from, or at least that's what the vibes I'm getting for this.
Don't agree.
Alright.
It's basically, do you want to do a lot of damage?
And people do like to, and I know that there's some people who like to deal with a lot of damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Meanwhile, I am actually circling back to a character I have played before, which fits into the setting.
Mm-hmm.
And I've actually designed that said particular character, which, I'm bringing them up real fast. Okay, my mother told me you are it. This is Steve's, no, not Steve. Fuck!
That's Dave's. That's Dave's. That's Dave's Ranger.
Oh, gosh darn it.
That ain't a ranger.
Oh, is that your monster?
This is technically a blood hunter, because at the time that I made her, there was no monster hunter class.
Goober.
Which is 3 for 3 for third party.
Yep.
Although that one's more well known.
Yes.
So yeah, so we got plenty of folks for our party lineup. We got ourselves an occultist, a berserker, a monster, a blood hunter, a paladin, and I can't remember what's the rat gonna be playing as.
Wizard Blade Singer.
Okay, thank you.
But yes, Dark Kingdom. Basically, it is an empire that the group's basically a task force for it to go and do the empire's will, dealing with problems across its vast continental domain.
Alright. I seem to need to be somewhere else now. I hope you enjoy your sketchings, and hopefully we can discuss more about the third party later on. It's okay?
Of course.
Sounds good.
See you about then.
Take care.
And by the way, take this bag of diamonds, by the way.
Ah, thank you.
Oh no, that's also advance payment for this. Hi.
Mother. Hey, I will check how much diamonds he has in this later down the line, but it does sound pretty hefty.
Yes.
Okay, let's see. But there's so many things I can't wait to actually design for that's tied to Pavetta, such as her grandmother, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's so many things I wish I could actually share about Pavetta, but so many that I can't. But what I can share is, oh, Ice Drake, hi, welcome back.
Hello, Ice Drake.
But yes, but what I can share is, the guild the Monster Hunter guild that she came from, which Savage here can also help because he helps me iron them out, when it comes to discussing about her character.
Yeah. So, basically, there are Monster Hunter guilds, and I've always been a fan of having the characters' classes actually having a presence within it. So, basically, Yui was able to give me information as to the people behind this guild, and then sort of I worked from there to build them into the history of this empire, because this empire obviously didn't start out as big as it was. It took many generations of conquest and alliances and all sorts of other stuff to become as big as it was. And the founder of the Monster Hunter Occultist Guild is part of that history.
Okay. Mainly her name is, hold on. Let me just go over.
Oh, I gotta take off. I'll see you guys later.
Okay,
And
thank you for coming. There we go. Adia Adele. She is the matriarch of that said family and the Hunters Guild. Their tenet is to study the supernatural and the occult as a means to protect themselves and others. And this woman is is a very different breed, because I decided to go for a different race in mind for this said character. Something that has not been seen often in tables. Aloxodon. Now, you're probably wondering, Miki, hold on. Isn't Loxodons basically elephant people? And you are correct. And then how come she isn't Loxodon-like? There's an explanation to that. Pavetta's mother, Pavetta's mother has been adopted by the said guild master, but unfortunately, Pavetta and her sister lost her during Pavetta's birth. But she still the guildmaster still regards both of them as her own granddaughters. Very protective to boot.
Yes. And this grandmother, Loxodon, came from across the way to the Empire and effectively sort of was able to rise up within the ranks of it as their witch hunter general.
Yep.
Which was very effective in leading the campaign to conquer an area known as the Hexlands, which was an entire area dominating the great river that is in the Empire that used to be ruled by hags.
And if this actually helps give a connection more and reveal another piece that is about Pavetta, she's a hexblood. It's just that her elder cross is underneath that veil, if you will.
Yes,
Veil hood,
and
if you will.
And her grandmother adopted her mother by effectively rescuing her when she was a littlein from a hag while she was purging the Hexlands of hags.
Okay, I think this looks pretty good in terms for her line art. So, I mean, not line art. The when it comes to her look. So, and she has studded leather armor, so let's make the studs where they are to implement where they should be. Okay. But one thing I need to figure out later down the line is her belt, where she actually has the where she keeps her sword and small tools, if you will, because yeah, it's a little bit. She really is because I want to tackle this one first. And by the way, do you think I got enough of the do you think she looks curvy with the way how she's depicted, or no?
She looks curvy.
Okay.
It's, again, for me, it's seems to be a moderate change, but a welcome one. Since to me, I see no difference in terms of the usual things that are big with your characters. It's just that the waist is a little bit wider.
And I try my best to help balance that thing out, because, again, Dex of 18. She is quick with
Yes.
her hands, as well as she can actually catch up when it comes to the rest of the group. She's a little. It's just that she's slightly built the way she is.
Which, considering her grandmother, that also tracks.
Yep.
You need to eat, child. Eat.
Especially when it also ties to the story when it comes to Pavetta, which unfortunately I cannot disclose that. That is something only Savage knows, and
Yes.
and the rest
And
of the
for
group
many
had
reasons.
to find out.
Yes.
But yes, always wanted to try my hand on making a much more curvier character. Especially so small little victories here and there, if you will. Plus, she's the first of my character's line where she actually actively is wearing pants, because
Yes.
I usually put my girls in leggings and dresses most of the time.
Yes.
Then again, I've also put a character in pants. Well, technically shorts, and that's Perla.
Yes.
I'm really into the type of that actually makes my girls look extra flowy, cute, and whatnot. Okay. So, let's see. Oh, I almost forgot about her little choker there. Which, I will implement a amulet design in refining, if you will. Because it's also a part of the design flow of her look. I genuinely hope I made her as curvy as she's depicted, man.
I think so.
Okay. So Grimoire will have a proper designed look. You know what? Hold on. I just have I just had a thought. What's Isis's logo looks like?
Let's take a look. Just make sure that you specify the Egyptian deity.
Okay. There we go. You gotta be more specific. Okay.
Yes.
So, according to sources, no, that's the Eye of Osiris. That does not count. The Anahita symbol looks oddly familiar. Let's see. I'm not sure which one is the accurate, design look.
Hold on, I think I may have found it.
Oh?
Due to the fact that it is literally called the Knot of Isis.
Okay, whenever you're able,
Hold on, I'm...
Fair enough. Take your time. While you're at it, I'm going to, fix up a little bit on her design. There we go. So, I still want to say thank you guys for coming by for today's art stream. Again, I wish I've actually done a little bit more, I wish I could have actually done a little bit more for this week, but it's not been a very favorable week for me and Steve, especially since we've also tried our best to prepare our home in short notice for Lloyd's arrival, but that plans for that fell through, so it's why we're actually doing these art streams right now, if you will. Okay, we're going to record the time lapse for this one, and we're going to change the canvas a little to make sure it fits to her dimensions.
I have sent images.
Thank you. Let me actually get to that shortly. Okay. Oh! Okay. So that's the knot of Isis.
Yes.
I'm on the fence on actually putting that in an amulet or in her book.
Either of those would work.
I'll burn that bridge when I get there. Okay, so we're going to start turning this. I don't know how far along we'll actually go for today's art stream, but we'll see how we go from there, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay, so I also genuinely want to say thank you for giving me the green light when it comes to bringing Pavetta into the table. But I had a feeling it's not easy saying yes to this.
It comes with its various challenges, but I would let you know if it was something that I couldn't do for one reason or another.
Fair enough.
It's just something to make sure that everyone in the table is okay with it, and they are, so we will be able to proceed onwards as things go forward. And that goes for the backstory as well as, of course, the character stuff with all of the fun little mechanics of the Occultist.
Because I'm so excited to trying out the Occultist after learning about it, but putting it into practice, the reality of it, it's, as what Pinkie Pie from My Little Pony would say, I'm nervous-sided about this. Nervous because I'm excited because I'm trying something new, but nervous because I am not sure how well I'm going to, how well it actually goes when I finally put it to practice.
Yes.
This picture is turning out pretty good, but I think I'll lurk a little bit. If you're streaming when I get back, I'll see you then. If not, then it was nice to see you again. Aw, thank you. I'm giving everyone a heads up that yes, I'm also going to be streaming tomorrow, as we're, instead of, going for Undertale again as promised, I want to play Warframe for the sake of the upcoming event that's happening, where they brought back Belly of the Beast, and this one is very tied to the sequel story, which is to Jade Shadows. And for those who actually saw me 2 years ago when I was playing Jade Shadows, it's an incredibly emotional quest storyline. One which it also is the second quest of Warframe that genuinely made me cry. And I'm really excited to learn what Jade Shadow Constellations is going to be about. It is very rare, when I get to play a quest in a game where it actually stirs my emotions and made me cry. The first time I've ever cried, I genuinely cried, was through the sacrifice that is from that I've actually, when I was replaying Warframe again. And I personally, that quest means a lot more to me now than it should, because of how I was going through that time period, genuinely. And now I am very excited to know what the Constellations is, Jade Shadow Constellations is going to be about, because boy howdy, split futures, possible outcomes. What could possibly go wrong with this one? Okay, but enough dilly-dally shilly-shallying. Let's see. But I also want to say thank you again for allowing me to play something that is third-party content class, if you will. The only reason why this is possible is that if it's only reached to D&D Beyond, it's after its first initial bit releases, if you will.
Indeed. And it's a pretty interesting class through my little page through. It is better Ranger because we will never stop trying to fix Ranger.
Oh.
It will never end. And specifically this one is just like fuck your mages.
Basically, I think when I read through most of the other subclasses of Monster Hunter, this one stands out to me the most, if you will, because again, you got carvers, which are basically the brute melee force of Monster Hunter. You got trappers, which are the stealth and trapping type of Monster Hunter, but that is a very, very niche way playstyle of what, if you think about it. Of course, that's what Afton would say. And then there's the Devourers, where you basically eat monsters in order to gain their strengths and also learn their weaknesses, all while you're losing your humanity bit by little bit. And personally, out of all these subclasses, the Occultist is the one that speaks out to me the best.
Mm-hmm. More magic.
More magic.
And magic with also anti-magic.
So yeah, this is going to be an interesting choice. Now let's see. I think I don't know how far. I think maybe, just maybe, as soon as we're done with this line art, I'll call it here for the day because, you know.
That's fair.
Now, let's see. Because I still need to figure out what to make for dinner for the night. Let's see. But I think of the things that I'm really looking forward to when it comes to as Pavetta is that it's making use of that one function as a monster hunter where you actually use your grimoire to actually help you out when it comes to combat. Because,
what kind of stuff do you do again?
let me open up her character sheet again so you can actually listen to this. I'm opening you up, Pavetta. Where are you? Where are you? Yes. In reactions, there's this thing called studied response. When a creature you can see within 60 feet of you targets you or another creature with a melee or range attack, you can take a reaction before the attack roll to make one attack with a weapon or an unarmed strike against a creature. If the attack misses, you regain the use of your reaction.
Huh.
But that's the short version. Here's the long one. You have learned the most effective way to slay a monster is to strike it in its most vulnerable area at the right moment. Too early, and your attack glances away. Too late, and the monster may eviscerate you. And again, when a creature you can see within 60 feet of you targets you or another creature with a melee or range attack, you can take a reaction before the attack roll to make one attack with a weapon or an unarmed strike against a creature. So, what do you...
I see.
What do
That's
you think?
good. Being able to use your reaction to attack effectively almost every time, that's going to be pretty good. you're going to be firing so many slingshot bullets.
Yep. And yes, one of Pavetta's tools that I gave for her for design is that of the weapons I chose for her, not only does she have a scimitar for close range combat, but I see Pavetta as something like a mid-range, close-range playstyle, if you will. But the mid-range, she has a means of not only her magic of cantrips, but also her sling that she has on her person. Because I fashioned the Monster Hunter Guild that they are basically their take of shepherds, if you will. To shepherd the poor souls from any monsters that attempts to attack them.
Yes.
Like I said, I'm leaning a little bit to I'm leaning really much when it comes to the Red Riding Hood aspect. And slings are basically their medieval version of a gun back in the day.
Very back in the day, but yes. Which ties in well with the using the Egyptian pantheon because they are flippin' old.
Mm-hmm. But the thing when it comes to slings is that they deal a 1d4 damage and modifiers, and depending on how much you put in there when it comes to dex. I think it's been a hot minute. I may have to look over that again.
Luckily, over the years, there have been a few upgrades for slings.
Which is a surprise, but a welcoming one. And
Yes,
how
yes.
often do you see people in your table that actually use slings as a weapon?
It's quite rare.
Yes. Typically, it's in settings where there's no arrows. There's no bows. Nobody knows how to string a bow.
So slings are basically your next best option.
To be fair, slings are not typically seen in fantasy settings because most at least high fantasy settings are typically based around medieval era, whereas the use of slings really goes back to the ancient era. I think the latest you typically see would be the Roman period, where you have combinations of bows and slingers being recruited.
I mean, now that I think about it, I want to know how much power a sling does when it's actually been thrown.
Roughly, imagine a baseball being flung at your head.
Sort of. So, a couple of things to bear in mind. You can get similar, if not more, range out of a sling from a bow, depending on the bow.
Well,
but
I'm sorry. You continue. I'll add in my 2 cents after yours.
But the other thing to consider is typically slings use small, sometimes shaped stones as their ammunition, which means that unlike a larger thing like a ball, there's more energy in it. So much like an arrow, you have very much a risk of being not only just struck by this thing, but pierced by it.
Okay, according to some people who actually did the math and whatnot, this is what, take it with a grain of salt, okay? I'm just reading this out loud from Google. According to some folks, an 80-gram stone is about 35 miles per speed, which is 50 joules of energy. And a projectile speed is like of over 100 to 200 miles per hour, if you will. But, like I said, take this with a grain of salt because I'm just reading this out loud in Google, if you will. But the point is that slings were used by shepherds and whatnot back in the day when it comes to, protecting themselves from any predators that go after their livestock.
and there have been quite. And yeah, they can, if you aim right. Yeah, a stone, or in some cases, they apparently use chunks of lead, hitting, say, the temple at the right speed and impact, dead.
So yeah, that. Michael, hi, welcome back. It's good to see you again. Oh goodness, we're gonna be having our ad break in about 30 seconds, so there, keep an eye out for that, chat. Okay. Jowls, no, oh, it's pronounced as Jules. Oh, okay. Why did I say it as Jowls? But yes, so this is going to be an interesting choice for a weapon for Pavetta, but I know that there are more sling type weapons out there over the years, and I can't wait to actually get my hands on those.
Especially due to Theros.
Mm-hmm. Which, you do have the source material.
Of course I do, yes.
Former science major, says Steve. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Also, while trying to look up the average velocity of arrows, I happened to stumble. Well, I mainly ran into an outrage and then stumbled across the Wikipedia article for arrows. Apparently, they've discovered one as old as approximately 64,000 years old.
Yes.
That's
The thing
old.
is, though, is that bows are, at least in my belief, more difficult to make than slings, and as for arrows, where arrows aren't that hard to use, technically speaking, if you've run out of your regular ammunition for a sling, you just find a rock.
Yes, that
That's
is.
And then yeet.
Oh,
Yeah, that is the one
right?
major advantage. It's not ideal. Ideally, for a trained slinger, they obviously will bring purpose-made ammunition in the form of quote-unquote bullets.
Especially since we're comparing between bows from the ancient times, and typically the bow that's used in D&D is the English longbow, which is its whole other thing.
I think we should actually compare notes on how much power does a bow have compared to a sling, because the thought occurred to me. Because since we do have some scientific knowledge of how much a sling has, how much does a bow have? Okay.
Depends on what kind of bow.
Let's save to make things easy. A short bow. Oh, my lip. Ow. I should not be able to play with that. I like the Iron Bull's explanation of it. Oh. Okay, but yes, I genuinely hope I managed to design Pavetta quite, on the heavier side. I can make a little bit of adjustments, but I should be careful on how much is enough, because the point of is to make her, a little bit on the curvier side, slightly heavy side, but just enough, because, Dex 18.
Yes.
And besides, there has been some scientific proof that when it comes to people who are on the heavier side, they can still possess some nimble force of speed and agility that comes with it. Like linebackers, for example, they have sure that they are very much on the heavier side, but they still have that they still have the speed and endurance when it comes to when it comes to their play style, because of how the muscles underneath that fat is much more supported, and it's also therefore doesn't give much of a hindrance. They just need a little bit more food in order to help maintain that kind of amount.
Other things again do depend on the type of bow. Short bows, for example, are generally more favored for horseback archery because they give you the necessary space in order to actually be flexible with using the bow and staying on the horse.
Yeah?
As opposed to, well, yeah. And then you have other extreme examples like Japanese longbows, where basically to use it properly, you literally need to plant the base of the bow into the ground in order to properly get your strength into it.
Yes. If we're going by realism, arguably a longbow should be a strength weapon instead of a dex weapon.
Yes, very much so.
I can only imagine the amount of muscle power does it require to, use such a bow that strong.
It's a lot. There's an old saying that was said, if you want to have an archer, start with his grandfather.
Huh?
The idea that it would take generations to get someone to be incredibly proficient with the longbow.
Yeah, to put it into perspective, English kings used at one point made it legally mandatory for peasants to take archery lessons specifically for that purpose.
I did not actually know that. Suddenly I've been in the mood to actually watch Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves again. Maybe it's because of that montage of, teaching the people how to use the bow, if you will.
I could certainly do it.
Which is cool. It really is.
But yes, there are many different types of bows and in many different traditions, both military and sporting.
Wait, there's a difference?
I would imagine so. Military archery primarily consists of a mix of having enough strength to pull the bow and enough endurance to hold on to it. Accuracy isn't that big of a problem when you are one of 50 dudes lined up with your officer screaming at you into fire.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah, absolutely. Fair.
When you're dealing with like massive mass warfare, if enough guys fire off arrows, they're going to hit something.
Yes. Not to mention, in order to control everybody, you need a whole bunch of people within earshot anyway, meaning that you're going to find people clumped up together. So it makes sense to clump up your more guys together as well, and then shoot at the large clump of other guys.
Suddenly I can't help but think back of that quote from 300. Our arrows will blot out the sun.
Yes.
I want to watch 300 again. Okay, I think that, seeing it into practice more, she is definitely curvy. This is going, would this entice the curvy chasers out there?
As the official boyfriend designer for the games, yes.
Fair enough. But trust me, there's a bit of a reason why she actually chose to be curvy in the first place. It's a narrative reason.
Yes.
Which, unfortunately, only Savage will get to know that narrative reason. The rest will have
Yes.
to find out we'll have to find out eventually when the time's right.
Yes.
The Besides, I think another reason why I'm leaning a little bit more into wanting to design my own curvy characters is thanks to Warframe's latest Warframe in question, Foley. Which, yeah, I'll admit, I actually really do like Foley. For those who are not on the initiative, Foley in Warframe is the latest one where she's basically the paint-to-frame. She is Gmod incarnate, where anything she paints comes to life and it helps out depending on the situation. Foley is also the Warframe's first ever curvy Warframe, if you will. Our first ever big beautiful woman Warframe, which is this one. This is Foley. Look, ever since Foley came into the picture, if you will, I said to myself, okay, I'm starting to see the appeal now a little bit more. So I decided to, implement that when it comes to Pavetta, Pavetta's design. That yes, she is basically your first ever curvy character in your campaign, who's in your campaign, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Of this type, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Because there's some who I consider, by my personal definition, all of your characters to be curvy. This one is curvy in a slightly different way, which is neat.
A breath of fresh air.
Well, yeah. Well, I love all of your designs, so.
Aw, thank you. I am someone who takes pride on her character designs, because I think in another life, I would have actually pursued character design, if you will. And I've always wanted to make sure that they are unique in their own fashion and way. But there are times I actually fall under the pitfalls of making something that's the same. Pavetta is different physically, and you know what? Any small victories is good enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
And she's thick as very much so, Jexel, very much so. But boy howdy, does Foley's hunt actually it kind of rattles you a little bit when you first time played it. But speaking of Foley, maybe it's thanks to her aesthetic that she's very much based on paintings, pictures, and ink, what have you, and it brings back my memories of Bendy and the Ink Machine. I've also wanted to create a new character in the future where they're basically a cartoon made out of pure ink. So I'm using the plasmoid stat block when it comes to this character.
Mm-hmm.
And this character is a little bit on the unhinged side. Little, maybe. That might be a slight understatement.
Well, I suppose we'll have to see when eventually that happens.
But until then, I want to actually nail down Pavetta's design, and that said character concept will have to wait another day.
Yeah.
Because that Pavetta is who I'm going to be playing for this upcoming campaign in the future, so I want to nail down her design while I still got the opportune chance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's at 5 p.m. already. Maybe just a little longer and then we'll call it here for the night.
Yep.
But I really want to say thank you again for coming by for today's stream, everyone. It means a lot to me that my regulars are back to see this impromptu art stream in their perspective. Is it a private game or an actual play? It's a private game. Trust me, someday, trust me when I say that if there's going to be an actual play here in the stream, I will let everyone know in a Blue Sky post.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say that I have recordings for the Saturday game, which I will be releasing that into my Patreon when I get the chance. It's just that I need to do some little bit of ironing out when it comes to art that's tied to the characters, if you will.
I'll be happy to see it when it finally does.
Aye. Cause I have yet to iron out on Jean's magical markings, if you will. And Jean's an
That
air
tracks.
genasi. And Jean's an air genasi.
Yes.
So I had to do a lot of research on how people do their air genasis for references. So that way I can actually figure out how am I gonna nail Jean's magical markings in their bodies.
Yes.
Let's see. Okay. Okie dokie Loki. Why am I sweating like a sinner at church? Oh, it's getting too hot for my own good. Is everyone doing okay when it gets way too? Is it just me, or is it things getting way too hot for no reason?
It should be warmer this far north, is all I'm gonna say.
Oh.
It's raining now.
It's raining over there? Can we trade
Yes.
weathers? Is it
Maybe.
Oh.
I wouldn't mind so much. I have air conditioning here, so.
My air conditioning is piss poor where I'm in, mainly because this house is old and therefore some of the ventilation is not working in this room, if you will. Then again, I have drawn the curtains to my room, but I kind of want extra light because it's a little bit too dark here. It's gonna rain on my end in Saturday. Ah, come on! Come on! If noises have subtitles, mine is whinging in Filipino and former Hawaiian resident. Okay, I think I'll pull through. I think I will try my best to pull through. Oh, man. Okay. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. But I think I've actually nailed down I hope I actually nailed down her look when it comes to Pavetta's appearance. Okay.
I think you have.
Thank you. Because I did try my best to emphasize just how curvy is she. It doesn't help that she's wearing flared like pants. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I might ask our resident expert on curvy women of the inn when I get the chance. That is if Blue is actually has an operating time. I don't know how busy they are, but I'll ask them. I feel ya on old houses being built in the 1900s suck. They look nice, but they suck in many other directions. I think if I can actually peg down on this this house was probably built around in the 1990s, 1980s, because Steve said this is the house we're living in is basically Steve's childhood home, and therefore it is an old house. I don't even know where the vent to the dryer goes to, if you will. Okay, now let's not forget what's left of her cloak. Okay, for reference, I just like to say all bodies are beautiful. Aw, thank you, thank you. I guess I'm just trying my best to learn to draw a little bit more diverse bodies, and I'm also gonna extend that to the men too. Cause yes, I am very guilty. I'll admit, I'm very guilty when it comes to drawing my men on the more shit brick house styles, as well as strongman builds. It's my preference, and that's it's my main preference, and it's kind of hard to divert from that. But over time, I am slowly trying my best to divert away from divert and change and adapt a little bit. I am considering drawing a character with a dad bod later down the line. It's just only a matter of who is going to inherit this kind of bod. And I think I know just the character in question.
Oh.
Yep. And I think that's something I can't wait to actually do when I get the chance. Okay, okay. As much as I want to continue more, I'm turning into a rotisserie chicken here because the room is too hot. So I'm gonna call it here, chat. I'm gonna call it here. You have a type. Yep. And I will do it again. So let's see who we can go ahead and raid. You know what? I'm gonna send you guys to Joe Cat. And
Fair enough.
I'm gonna go ahead and make the the redeem right now. So okay. It has been 6,000 years since we've raided Joe Cat. What has that said? But damn, she is thick and hot for occultist, or for an occultist, for occultist. I think occultist. There's a difference.
Very different.
Yes. But thank you guys for coming by for today's stream. I truly am thankful that you guys are here. And join me by tomorrow as we're going to be playing Warframe, so we can actually so we can actually be on time for the upcoming events. So I hope to see you guys then. May y'all have a good night. May y'all eat well and rest well. And I hope to see you guys next time at the Paper Plane Inn. Take care!
Good night, everybody.
Yeah.